Good afternoon, all. Welcome back to CAD Technology. Today we'll be working on surfacing module in CATIA. We are going to do or make a very simple 3D model using our surfacing by using simple commands like your extrude, split, trim, etc. Now, again, understanding the drawing, you have the front view as well as the left view. As you can see, we can understand the shape over here. I can also show you the 3D model of the same. It looks like this. So let's begin making the model. Now, since we are working on the surfacing module, under start and mechanical design, you have a separate workbench which is called wireframe and surface design. So once you enter into the workbench, you can pretty much see all the options which are helpful for us to make the model using surfacing. Now, to begin, I'd like to start with the front view. So I'm taking the front plane and beginning my sketch. I can follow and make it the exact way as shown in on the screen and then start giving my dimensions one after the other. So I know the overall dimension from here to here is supposed to be 60, so I'm giving this as 60. And I even know that the height from here to here is supposed to be 60, so I'm giving this as 60 as well. Now, continuing with the model, we need to dimension the arc, this one, which is again 40. We need to dimension the length as well as the angle, which they have already mentioned. So let's continue to do so. I'll try to make it as quickly as I can. Now, once you're done with the dimensioning part, you can see that the sketch is completely constrained. You can exit the workbench, and now to add material to this particular sketch as a surface, we can simply use an extrude command. When you click on extrude, you can see it starts adding material. It is pretty much like your pad command, but everything will be under one single tab, unlike pad command which has two different pad like direction 1 as well as direction 2. So under limit 1, I am saying direction 1 and direction 2. So I can use mirrored event and give the overall dimension, which is 70. So since it's mirrored event, I am giving it as 35. Now, to achieve this kind of a shape, we need to make a sketch over here and trim off the surfaces. As in, we need to achieve this shape by trimming both surfaces, which we are going to see how to work on it now. I am using the right plane to create the profile, which is a circle again. I'll just make it somewhere and then coincide, or you can use your references and work on it as well. It's pretty much the same thing. This is a 50 dia. Exit. Now, while adding it in the form of a surface, you can. I don't want it onto the other side, so I'm just making the other side 0. I want this to intersect exactly with the complete surface or the existing surface, so I can achieve this shape. So let's try to say OK and then see it. You can trim these two surfaces by simply using a split or a trim command. For these kind of cuts, trim is a better option, so let's try to use trim. As you can see, it gives me 4 options. I'll choose which one is necessary for me and then do it. This is the shape which we saw in the 3D model as per the 2D drawing. Now, going back, we also have this type of a slot cut. There's no material here, but right now we do. If I go into my front view and see, you have this material here. So to create these type of ones, we can take a simple arc and project it onto the surface to create a cut and split the surface from the curve. So to do so, let's try to take a plane at a distance. Assuming I want it at 50 mm, you can take any distance, it just has to be more than the surface, the extrusion of the surface. And I'll just use my references here because it's a cylindrical body. Now I can just try to make my semicircle. Now I can give the dimensions here saying this is 15 and the distance from here to here is again 20. It's shown in the drawing. I can project this curve onto this surface using my project command. Under projection, there are two different ways of doing. Normal is a projection type which does it at 90 degrees. I can show it to you how it works. This is the normal type of projection, as you can see, projects this way. There's also another type of projection which is called a longer direction, wherein what is the curve you want to project, it will ask you on what surface do you want to project it to with respect to a particular direction. You can choose the plane as the direction and you can see how it projects. So this is along a direction is what we require to make this kind of a slot. So let's try to do that. Now we'll try to trim. We cannot use trim because it's splitting it from surface and curve. So split is a far better choice. So using split, I'm trying to use this as the element to cut and this is my cutting element. As you can see, it removes this from the existing surface. This is a very simple surfacing module using just using just three commands: extrude, trim and split. Of course, we have used project. Project is widely used in your surfacing module. Let's go back to your part design to convert this into a solid because there's 1 mm thickness provided to us. So again, to add thickness, there is an option which you can use either thick surface or closed surface. Closed surface is usually used to make it into a complete solid, whereas thick surface is usually used to add thickness to the surface. So let's try to add thickness to this on this direction. I want 1 mm because it's one thick and say okay. As you can see, this is the thickened model. This is an example of a very simple surfacing model. We do offer training in advanced level of surfacing as well as generative shape design. Under shape, you have generative shape design. We do offer training in all these modules as well. So if you're interested, you can contact us. Our details are given in the description below. Meanwhile, if you want to learn more about surfacing, part modeling, sheet metal, you can subscribe to our channel. We'll keep posting more tutorials which might be helpful for you when you go for an interview or you just want to practice. Thank you. Subscribe to our channel.